And I think the question will first go to Mohammed Tukra, and then we'll ask.
Let me answer that to you. If you look at what has happened for the delay and so on and so, it's happening during the crisis of lack of aircraft. You remember only 3 airlines operate at that particular period of time.
Then don't sell tickets.
No,
don't
wait,
tell me you're going to go to Abuja when you know you can't go because you have no aircraft to go.
You have some particular airline who are having that kind of habit. I think
habit is the word.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you.
We raised the issue last time when we have a serious meeting with the minister, and I believe that the minister and Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, they take a serious action against that. And I can assure you now, the number of the aircraft that are flying within the airspace of Nigeria, you won't have those kind of delay as we are talking about. Thing has moved from that
It
stage.
is still happening.
No,
We're still having 2-3 hour delays. It is still happening.
And cancellations.
See, Tukro is an airline operator.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Tukro, will be on that side. Well, I don't have an airline,
No,
so
you see-
I can face Tukro on this issue. I should wait. Okay.
As I said, we have a meeting. Let me tell you, we as a body, we even complain about a particular airline. That delay and the aircraft doesn't come until around 9-12 o'clock. And we say it's our member, but we complain, really. Some of them, we talk to them. Some of them, when we sit with the executive and the minister, we say it. And we even have to say, she have to say, okay, we will know what to do. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I want to appeal to the passengers to know their right. Do you understand? The law is there. There is a consumer protection unit everywhere in the airport. The moment you go, whether GAT or you go up,
What is my
no matter
right?
what rights I have, I am flying tomorrow morning. You send me a text at 8:30 in the night that my flight for tomorrow morning has been cancelled. I should call this number to reschedule. But that number doesn't open until 8 a.m. the next morning.
reported to Nigerian Civil Aviation.
No, you see,
I have done that many times and nothing has come of it.
I always say this.
It's unfortunate.
The Nigerian passenger is one of the most abused globally.
Right you are.
One of the most abused. But I put that squarely. On the doorsteps of the regulator, the NCAA. Let me tell you, the NCAA has done this country proud in the area of safety, regulation, and whatever. But in the area of economic regulation and passenger rights, the NCAA is inadequate. Because if NCAA were not inadequate in this area, most of these things will not be happening. Where is the passenger bill of rights? How enforceable is it? What has happened with it? Look, let me tell you, airlines wake up. I once flew, me and my colleague, we flew British Airways out of Joburg into UK, and by the time we came, we were waiting for our baggage. I got my own. She was waiting for her own. She didn't see. By the time they brought it, they had used rope to tie it on. It had torn. But somebody was standing by watching who had that baggage. Immediately she said, "This is my baggage." He came to pick it. The person walked straight to her and say, "Sorry, this is your baggage." Before you could say Jack, he brought a brand new bag, better than box, better than the one that was torn. My colleague was so happy. She just opened and threw the torn baggage into it, and we left the airport. What I'm saying, these are the rules. If he fails to do that, he knows that he's going to face sanction. Why did BA and Virgin pay all the people they cheated on the flight? Because there are EU laws. Yeah. And incidentally for us, we do not know that those laws there, we can apply, we can exploit it.
This is what I'm trying to say.
We can exploit it.
You have an airline, you have some airline who have a habit of that. So it's the duty of the consumer of protection you need to act on that. And I think, I hope that the DGO, the director of that, is watching this program. And I think they need to, the minister is already talking about it, and we complain really for our members that they should try to, follow the rule and regulation for the consumer protection. And secondly is you have some airline. I have an airline that I know fly to Kano, and due to bad weather, come back to Abuja, and he took all the passengers to Hilton, put them in Hilton. You can imagine how much he will spend, and feeding them, and the next day he have to pick them back to
that happened
Kano
in
again.
Nigeria?
Yeah, IRS airline. You know, and the rule said, if, for example, you delay, you have to provide a feeding for the passenger after apologizing and so on. When you cancel,
Exactly,
you have to
By
do
how
that.
many hours?
Do you understand?
Delay
At least
by-
1 hour.
So
Only
if
2
it's-
hours. If you get
So if it's more than 2 hours, you have a right.
Yeah.
2
to do
hours,
what?
yes.
In
do
fairness, to the NCAA, the NCAA has focused on this aspect
Yes.
in the last few months. There's a passenger bill of rights that states all the rights that the passenger has and all the recourses of the passenger if they are treated in a particular way by an airline. And an airline and all the airlines are aware of what they are required or what their obligations are in terms of this bill of rights to passengers. Now, I'm just thinking here, listening to everybody here, is this very well known to the passenger in Nigeria yet?
really.
Maybe not.
That's
Obviously, I'll take the feedback. Maybe we need to say more about it so the passenger is aware that every time you come to the airport, yes, you have some rights with respect to the contract between you and the airline. And the airline has some obligations to you in terms of cancellations, delays beyond a certain amount of time, all those things. They refund you, they take you to a hotel, there are certain cash fines that they pay to the passenger, etc., enshrined in this Bill of Rights. But it's recent, it's about maybe 6 months old now, and we could do more to enlighten the public about it so that people can start to demand those rights. I strongly believe that when people demand those rights in terms of the bill,
Yes.
the airlines will
sit
wake up to
exactly.
the
Yeah.
responsibility
Because
because
we don't want to
it's going to
have
impose
any
an
problem
onerous
with the-
responsibility on them.
I mean,
Mr.
Every
Tuko,
airport,
I
if
was
you go
going
to every
Warri,
airport.
I was told that the weather in Warri was bad and we would be taken to Benin. We were taken to Benin and abandoned in Benin.
No, apparently that's a
How we
serious
got to
offense.
Warri was not the airline's business. We didn't get a refund on our tickets.
They-
nothing.
Now,
supposed-
now the airline can't do that.
Is that
thing.
possible?
No.
If, I mean,
No.
they
I
did
reported
it.
to the NCAA, by the way, and nothing came of
If
it.
anybody did that now, I can assure you, you will find himself in trouble, no matter who you are. The truth of the matter, that's what to bring some problem. You see, I will still say, maybe some of my members might not like to. That's why some people, you see when the government is trying to help them, especially the ministry, then you find that if the policy doesn't go in their own way, and they come out certain fighting it in one or the other. So which that kind of habit have to stop. Because you can't do it the way you want. You have to operate it the way it's supposed to be, no matter how big you are.
Within the policy framework.
Within the policy framework.
Yeah.
And nobody is going to be different from others. So whether the presidency patronizing the corridor of power doesn't matter. The agency and the other parastatal have to stand up to make sure that everything has been done properly.
I was going to ask Mr. Resi. FAN is an agency of government, and you have the ears of the Minister of Aviation. Why, this is a question coming from people on Twitter, why will the government of Nigeria not consider that amount of money that is going to be invested in these aircrafts? Why would they not consider it to be used for a national carrier?
You see, as I said to you, there are a number of interventions that are enshrined in a roadmap that we sat together and put together to revamp the aviation industry, the air transport industry in the country. Within that roadmap, there is a national carrier project, and it is unfolding. It's unfolding quietly. We're working very quietly in the background, achieving all these aims. But the federal government is not going to be investing in a carrier. The federal government is just going to create the conditions for private money to invest in a carrier. So the thing that the federal government will invest in is in loaning a carrier that meets the corporate governance criteria, money to acquire aircraft at internationally competitive rates, so that the carrier will be more efficient, its business model will be more winnable. Because right now, if you are operating aircrafts at rates at which you purchase them that are totally uncompetitive, it's impossible for you to make a profit out of that airline.